Hi! So it's the day after I've made my triple mint oatmeal and cashew soap. So here's the soap in the HDPE molds from for Craft's sakes, and I will unmold these for you. I like to wipe off the Vaseline off the plastic sheets, the mylar lining. Then this way it's easier to clean up afterwards. Okay, now that we've unmolded the soap, this recipe contained quite a bit of beeswax, and that's why I kind of had a problem removing the mylar linings. Some batches, especially when there's a lot of cocoa butter, they unmold like this, but when there's lots of beeswax, they tend to be a little sticky. And plus it's been 20 hours and not 24 since it was made, so maybe it was still a little hot inside or warm, but it's pretty good anyways. But okay, so let me show you this. This is the cutter that will cut my soap into loaves. It was designed and made by the owners of For Craft's Sakes to fit the size that I asked them to make. So this one was custom made as well as my molds, but they have pre-made ones for their regular product line. And let me show you how this works. So first, make sure that these are tuned. They're like little guitar strings, so you kind of have to tighten them up. And let me just put my glasses on. I'm going to put eye goggles because if one of these wires snaps, it could pop up and then hurt my eye or my face, but I don't mind a little cut, but I definitely do not want any soap or wire parts in my eye. So I make sure they're all tightened up, and then I'm just going to position this right on top. And push down, there we go, with even pressure. It's not hard at all, it just like glides through the brick just like if it were butter. Depending on your recipe, if you're using lots of hard oils, you may want to unmold sooner, because you don't want your soap to be hard as brick when you cut it. There we have loaves. Okay, this cutter is like exactly the same cutter as you see in my other videos, except this one, instead of being an inch, I think it's 1.5 inches or 1.75 inches. I can't remember, but anyways, I had it custom made so that my soap would be short and fat little soaps instead of being thinner. So, just going to position this and go right ahead and cut. There. I get the end piece that I don't need. I keep them usually for myself. I don't sell those. Sometimes I'll give them out as samples. And voila! Alright, here's another batch of soap that I made using my HDPE plastic soap boxes, and I didn't put beeswax in this recipe, and I just wanted to show you how much more easier it comes out. And I did add 1% of sodium lactate to this soap, so it just peels right off. So I guess that would be a trick for the liners to release easier. That's the final bar of soap. I love this size because it fits right into a hand, especially a woman's hand, which is usually smaller than a man's, but it's thick enough to get a good grip, and they don't melt as fast because they are thick. And this is one of the soaps from my all natural soap line. All this size bar soap, they have no artificial colorants. They're all natural colorants and essential oils too. No fragrance in those. You do know that I have a colored and fragranced line as well. But yeah, this is one of them. It's a new addition since last year. I really like them. This one smells really fresh and cool. It's got spearmint, peppermint, menthol crystals, and mint powder. So yeah, really fresh. I wouldn't use this in the winter because it would leave kind of a cool feeling on your skin if it's really cold outside. But then again, if you live in a warm area, who cares about winter? Yeah. About for craft's sakes, HDPE big box molds like the ones I have. I'm not quite sure that's how to call them, but that's how I call them. Actually, I don't call them that because I'm usually speaking French, but anyways, they're really great. I love them. I've had them for 2 years now. I've been soaping with them for 2 years, and they allow me to make 4 batches of 20 pounds each, so that's around 80 pounds of soaps in a day if I'm really motivated. Each brick makes 64 soaps, so that's a total of over 240 soaps in a day, which is not so bad for a single woman. I have no help, as you can see. Most of the time I'm alone in my workshop. They are easy to work with, easy to clean, easy to line. Sometimes the mylar lining is a little bit sticky on the sides, but with a sharp knife, and I'm really being careful with that, you usually get it off pretty easily anyways. What else? Yeah, the downside is that you can't really do like swirls and like tiger swirls or drop. Well, you can do sort of drop swirls. I like to do in the pot swirls in them. They work really great, especially when I use the soap slide, so it avoids all these air bubbles. The soap slide I made myself. It didn't come with it. I just had to find a way to get rid of all these bubbles, because when you pour thin rice, you can kind of bang the mold on the floor a little, and usually the bubbles will come up. But when you pour thick rice, if there's a bubble in the bottom, it's probably going to stay there. So the soap slide helps a lot. So yeah, I would recommend you get them either custom made or the regular molds that they have. They have other designs as well. They are a little bit more expensive when you have them custom made, but when you want a certain type of size of soap, well, it's a plus because they're then unique to you and customers will recognize them for the size you've made them. So go ahead and visit For Craft's Sake's website. I will put a link below, and have a great day. Well, I don't know what I'll do next time, but if you have any suggestions, you can post them in the comments. I always try to read as much as I can. I don't reply to everyone because I have a lot of comments and I have work to do, so I mostly read them, but I don't really answer individually. Sometimes I do, but it would be a long part of my day just to reply and talk and with everyone. So I hope you understand. So we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Here's a little extra. I'm going to show you how I do my kelp powder. First, I collect them along the beach after a storm, clothesline dry them under the sun, and then when they're all dried up, I put them on a cookie sheet and put them in the oven at 170 degrees Fahrenheit just so that they get crispy. Once they're dried, like this, I crunch them by hand, usually wearing gloves because it can get prickly. And yeah, so I just break them up. Then I put them into my magic bullet, shred them into a fine powder, and I always sift them before putting them in soap, or I can also infuse them in oil in other cases. Ta-da!